Lean back a little bit.
I'm gonna do some not too, bro.
Shema,
Yashallah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hayinawa,
Yahweh,
Chud,
Shema, Yashallah, Yahweh, Hayinawa, Yahweh, Chud, Shema, Yashallah, Yahweh, Hayinawa, Yahweh, Chud.
All right, Shalom, Akyam. And we would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKadosh.
double honors to our apostles, a great millstone who rule well, and peace and blessing to the house of the elect. All right, I'm Zahab to my right,
Kazak
to my left.
Yashama. All right, we're GMS Mississippi Camp. You know, we're coming with a weekly lesson. All right, and this lesson is going to the beautiful order, all right, of a woman. All right, the beautiful order, you know, of a woman. Because we know, all right, in the beginning, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you know, made male and female, you know, and the Alahayim, all right, they said it was good, all right, or Tawab, you know, because they made everything, you know, with a purpose, man. You know, what's that scripture in Sirach? Let's say everything work for the good against the other, you know, just to start it off, you know, but we're, as men of Israel, you know, we're stepping back into our role, you know, as leaders, as judging our people according to the scriptures, you know, and now you see the women coming under that, you know, banner, you know, stepping, you know, into their role, all right, and we're all learning, all right, what our roles are within the nation, man. You see, because the serpent came with confusion and threw everything off, man. He downplayed, you know, the role of a woman and made it seem like she was oppressed, but a woman had a vital role within the nation. You see, because it ain't like we bashing women saying women are not needed. No, man, we just understand that in this society, women have been overhyped, you know, and they have been exalted and put out of position, man. You know, confused about what their role is, man. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we're getting all that understanding back, man. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's Sirach chapter 33 and verse 15.
Yep.
So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
There are two and two, you know, and you can look at it, you know, in a lot of ways, but the main thing is the male and female. You see? Go ahead.
Sirach 39 and 21. A man need not to say, what is this? Wherefore is that? For he have made all things for their uses.
Yeah, he have made all things for their uses, man. So this war that you got back and forth between men and women is not supposed to be like that, man. You know? Like they got a saying in the world, you know, y'all arguing like married couples. That's not right. Yeah, you're not supposed to be damn arguing, man.
That's all.
You see? One's supposed to bring out the good of the other. You see, men and women are supposed to complement each other within the household because the nuclear family, you know, that's the beginning of life in the earth, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I got a quick one.
You got it, bro.
Sirach 25 and 1.
Yep.
And three things I was beautified.
Yep.
And stood up beautiful before Yahweh and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
A man and a wife that agree together, man. All this conflict and tension. And see, Esau put it on his TV shows, man, because the only, visual that we seen of a relationship, you know, was what, Martin?
Yep.
You know, living single.
My wife and kids.
Yeah, my wife and kids, some silly shit like that. You know, with Jake be goofy. You know, the woman be supposed to be the one that's smart, keeping him in order, man. You know, that's off, man. But all this arguing and bickering, you know, like you got this thing, you look at Kevin Samuels, you got the women, you know, they got this mind frame, you know, where they just at war with the men. You know, like they gotta prove something. That's off, man. But they all came through the serpent. But we're gonna get into the purpose, you know, the beautiful purpose that women had, especially, you know, within our nation, man. You know? You can get that song, bro.
Okay, come on. The book of Psalms 113 and 9. He maketh the barren woman to keep house, and to be a joyful mother of children, Praise ye Yahweh by Shemi Awashai.
So he made the woman to keep house. Now, when you hear that, you know, Esau painted the picture, because we go to the feminist movement, you know, he painted a woman being the keeper of the house as boring, suppressed, you know, like it was irrelevant. No, she had an important job. Like, you can't just remove that from the household and it don't be no ripple effect, you know, because you got to think, all right, when a woman keep house, all right, she's a nourisher of the children. Like, what she feeds the children has a big impact on the nation. Like, the standard diet that's why we had a standard diet. And who was the main one doing the cooking? It was gonna be the woman. So you got a mighty army that's conquering nations. Well, it has to be fed. The army has to be fed. All right. King David was a child before. You see, Solomon was a child. You know, and they had mothers that and handmaids that what nourished them up. You know, so a woman's role was very important, because those men that you nourished up and fed right, you know, and nourished them, you know, now they conquering nations and they coming back home with the spoils. You know, a man might come back with you a couple of handmaids. Y'all might have some more livestock, some gold. You might get some material to make you some more dresses. You know, and all you doing is constantly feeding that man, keeping him, you know, keeping the house to keep the stress off him, so he can think, you know, on what the next move he finna make to increase the household, man. You know, so a woman in order was beautiful within our culture, man, and we're going to get back to that, man. You know, you got it, bro.
1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 14.
Yep.
I will therefore that the younger women marry,
Genesis 22:20.
bear children, guide the house.
Yep, guide the house, man. That's very important, because, like I said, the women also, they were the first one to teach the children the language. You see, that's why Israel was so mad at the Israelite men. You know, it wasn't because they were messing with women from other nations, but the children were speaking the languages of the other nations. You see, that's the thing that they was going off on. No, they were supposed to learn Hebrew, our language, man. And who was the first teacher, you know, of the children? It's the mother. All right? The man will put his vibration on the woman, and the woman will push their vibration on the children, man. You see, our women are supposed to be teaching up these children, you know, stories of, you know, our forefathers, you know, going into, you know, the Hebrew words, teaching them the Hebrew. And then when the man gets a certain age, he will be with the father, learn the trade, and he will go deeper into the law with him, deeper into the, you know, the stories, you know, with the promise, the covenant. You see?
Yeah.
You won't have to worry about sending your child. If we had a nation full of women that was teachers, we don't have to worry about sending our child to public school. He learned about Christopher Columbus, you know, Alexander the Greek.
Putting all this money up for a private school.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. And the situation was so dire that, you know, Nehemiah had commanded those Israelites to separate from those women because we were so far gone.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, our sons and daughters speaking these other languages, you know?
You know, if I could just make a quick point.
Yeah.
My brother did a video on a woman from Nigeria, all right, breaking down the importance of the so-called black man and being in the position of power in the household. It was like the man is basically like a god. It was like polygamy was normal. It was like she was breaking down like, well, you could tell by the way her spirit was, the culture she came from, and she was breaking down like they were colonized. See, we had been colonized, and that destroyed the nuclear family. All right, and then in America, we've been westernized. All right, so after the 1960s, the nuclear family was destroyed. But there was a system for our survival, and the reason why you don't value that system is because you've assimilated into a first world country. All right, so you don't know the value of why you should have these systems to sustain yourself without another entity to govern you.
Yep. We'll finish it off. All right, 1 Timothy 5 and 14 again. I would therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. For some are already turned aside after Satan.
Yeah, and see, that's the majority of our women now. You know, they have turned aside after Satan. And right now, it's this system, man, ran by Esau, Edom, the beast, man. You know, because when you look at, you know, the majority of women of our nation, you know, they didn't marry young. You know, that's you know, that's you missing out. They got the, like, if you marry young within black culture, you missing out. Why? You got your life to live. You know, they push them, but no, man, a woman supposed to get married young, because that's when they will give forth the healthiest children, man. You know, like when you look at these niggas like LeBron, you know, Allen Iverson, man, Zion, all they mothers had them young. You know, you see these the big mighty men, a lot of their mothers had them young, man.
Yep.
You know,
and it makes sense because you know what, that links up when you read in Second Esdras, where you know it compares, you know, it compares basically us to the earth.
Yeah.
Well, in particular, how the earth in its youth it brought forth, you know, more mightier people that were taller, people that was healthier. Like you said, same thing with women in their youth. In their youth, like the children they bear, those are strong children.
Yep.
You know?
Well, like you said, because we live in this false reality, this grid, you know, the Esau was able to downplay the role of the natural role of a woman, you know, and what? Give her this liberty, you know, to gad abroad, man. You know? You got it, bro. That Genesis 2:20.
Okay, come on. I got it.
Okay.
Genesis 2:20.
Yep.
It says, and Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him.
So Adam, you need a helpmeet. You see? And you go to the helpmeet, so A is like an assistant. Because Adam was already establishing, you know, things in the earth.
Yeah.
You see? But the Most High said that helpmeet, that was like an assistant, man. And the woman, they equipped to do that.
Yeah, by nature, they'll take jobs where they're a secretary.
Yeah. A nurse or they're a teacher. That's the three biggest jobs for women: nurses, teachers, or what? Personal assistants. You see? Because that's their nature. But they supposed to be doing it for their husband.
Yeah.
You know? Like what your husband is into, you would assist whatever he was into. Like your husband was a fisherman, well, you would know how to clean fish. He would go catch, you know, bring the fish home, and you would know how to clean, you know.
Perfect balance.
Yeah. Or if you, all right, was a sheep herder, all right, well, your woman would know how to shear sheep. You know, just saying something, she would know, she would be able to aid you in your craft. You would do the grunt work, you know. You would deal with the elements, you see. But then when it came to around the house, man, she would be able to, you know, prep those things that you gathered or you hunted for or that you breed. She'll be able to prep them to be able to what? Nourish the household, man. You know, it was a perfect balance, man. You see? You got it, bro. I mean, yeah, keep going, Genesis.
Okay.
Genesis 2:21.
Yep.
And Yahweh power caused a deep. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and Yahweh power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, the clothes of the flesh, instead thereof. And the rib which Yahweh power had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man.
Yeah, and that rib just going, Eve was close kin, you know, to Adam. You know, go ahead.
Hence the phrase, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh.
Yep.
Right? Verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my... And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman because she was taken out of man.
Yeah, and that word woman, you know, what goes into servant, man. You know, when you really go into it, man, it means a servant, you know. But Esau, he paints this picture like, you know, the woman just walking around with a black eye, you know, she cooking grits barefoot, pregnant all the time. You know, no, man. She was just an assistant. She was under that man as his assistant, man. And the women are set up to do that. Like, Adam was setting everything up, but Eve, you know, she helped with the minuscule things, man. You know, because a woman is supposed to free you up. You know, well, you supposed to think about, you know, bigger things. You're supposed to be able to, you know, think about conquering or thinking about adding or establishing, or you might be gone making, you know, business moves or something, man. She's at the house keeping everything in order, man. The children are fed. You know, you might have servants. She's overseeing your servants. making sure they get their portions, you know. So a woman had a beautiful, an important role, man.
Yeah, she didn't have a heavier responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't see any verses in the book of Genesis where Eve had to name the animals.
Yep.
You know, you said just she had to help out.
We deal with the world.
Yep. And we built for that. And the reason why women so bitter, they not built for that. Because even like a woman, like with decorating, see, women don't understand, like, the men of Israel, the elect men of Israel finna conquer the earth. You know, the heathen's gonna build. But see, women gonna be the one putting that touch on the decorations.
Yeah.
You know, like your house, like your household, like for my woman, you know, there's like this little study room, man. She built me a desk. You know, she got the plaque, she got the, you know, decoration with the scriptures, man. What they call that woman's touch.
Yeah.
You see, I'm the one, you know, gotta grind and get it in the scriptures, you know, but what she do, she kind of put a little inspiration, you know, a little inspiration in the room, man. And that's the woman's nature, man. You know, they women with their interior decorating, that's what they do.
Well, we,
you know,
if I could just add, we build and women beautify.
Yep.
You know, you'll build a house, but the woman, she's gonna coordinate colors. She's gonna put picture frames up, or she's gonna put mirrors and make sure they match the picture frame. And you know, women beautify, but we build, man. And we were meant to compliment each other, not to cancel out each other.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We got a precept as well. You got it, bro.
All right, this is Titus. Titus, it's like.
Yeah, you get that one, bro. Yeah.
All right. Titus chapter 2, verse 5. All right, now it reads.
You start at 1, bro.
Titus?
Yeah.
Titus chapter 2, verse 1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience.
Yo, so what Apostle Paul is doing, he's talking to the Gentiles, but he's trying to establish orders, you know, within households. You see, he's giving, you know, his spiritual, he's giving his spiritual advice when it comes to households according to the scriptures, man. Because remember, he's talking to heathens that came up in all type of idolatry, sacrifice, you know, threesome orgies. You see, so he's establishing order, man, just like we came up in all this type of madness. So the New Testament was establishing the order going back to the ancient world, man. You see, go ahead.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Yep, the aged women likewise, that be in behavior as becoming holiness, man. You know, because in this society, you got the grandma listening to Kevin Gates, the mama listening to Kevin Gates, and the daughter, man. Everybody on the same frequency, man. You can't tell the difference. The grandma trying to wear the daughter clothes, the daughter trying to wear the youngest daughter, the granddaughter clothes, man.
You had like what's that show, Atlanta Housewives, some shit.
Yeah.
But like they mothers, they act just young. Well, you know, like teenagers.
Yeah. And you know, you got certain cultures where the whole is 3 generations of gang banging. The grandma, the mama, the sons, the uncles. Yeah. That's how we had our heritage, and we discontinued our heritage. And you got a whole generation of gangbangers, man.
Yeah, because basically what we see in our generation, you know, even, you know, our parents and their parents, they'll be like on the level of their children. Like instead of them being their parent, they'll want to be a friend, you know, smoke weed with them and, you know, party with them. Well, you're going to do it anyway. You better off doing it with me. But I heard an older Jake tell me that, man. You know, talking about his son. Like, but you know, like you said, they putting it, when you read the New Testament, the Apostle Paul in the back in order.
Yeah. Because that's a nigga, like what you say is a nigga proverb. They rather do it with me. Hey, because like you say, I think we were talking about one time before, how in the ancient world there was emphasis on the elders. Because the elders, even the elderly men and the elderly women, because they were supposed to be stored up so much knowledge, you know, where you can come to them and they can give, you know, their wise counsel.
That's why the scripture says in Sirach, miss not the discourse of the elders.
Yeah.
You know,
because the elder woman, like, you know, them grandmothers, they be like with them babies, you know, they look at the young girl, the baby, and they give me that baby, you know, and know exactly what to do, you know, tell her, look, this is what you got to do, you know, And that's how that was supposed to keep going, man. But like I say, this society, everybody trying to be stuck in 21, you know, and be turned up.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You got it, bro.
All right, now it says the aged women likewise that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers. Excuse me, not false accusers.
Yeah, daddy ain't shit.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, bro. You know, as always, the negative accusation against the father, the kids.
Yep.
You know, like you said, gossiping.
Yep. I heard. You know,
that's Facebook.
Yeah,
that's all they do, bro.
You know? Go ahead.
Not false accusers, not given to much wine.
Yep.
Teachers of good things.
Yeah. Damn drunk. You know, because like I say, only in America where a woman can wear a skirt, you know, up to her ass cheek and be drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning, man.
And these are older women doing it. I mean, you got younger women doing it, but you got like older women doing it, like women in their fucking 50s.
Yeah, you're someone's mother, auntie, grandmother, and you out ass out drunk, man. You know, ain't no, it's just no, you know, there's no character, there's no integrity, there's no, virtue. Like, god damn.
No morals.
Yeah. Well,
that they may teach the young women to be sober.
Let me teach the young women to be sober, man, which is level-headed, all right? Being watchful, you see? Just like, you know, the apostles and elders are bringing us up, you know, as their spiritual sons, man. See, it's supposed to be elders of the nation doing the same thing, you know? Showing, look, you got an Israelite, man. This is how he gonna move. He gonna, you know, that Sabbath come in like this. You got to go ahead and, if you can, you know, putting you on game on how to deal with this man. You know, go ahead.
To love their husbands.
Yep.
To love their children.
See that, and that's really undoing those curses, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
That evil eye towards the children, the evil eye towards the husband. You see, but you see, you know, that's being undone amongst the elect, though, man. You know, go ahead.
To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home.
Discreet, chaste, and said keepers of the house, man. It keep going back to that because that's everything started at the house, man. You know, like when you see a child at school cussing out the parents, what's the first thing the teachers say? Shit, that shit had to start at the house. You know, when you see certain behavior, like you see Jake that's out here shooting up and drive, it started at the house. Jake was an infant at one time.
You know, he was an innocent baby.
Yeah. You know?
Yep. But then you go, the motherhood has been, sisterhood and the motherhood, womanhood has been replaced with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, the City Girls. Those women really be internalizing it.
Yep.
You know?
Like you seen, like with Steph Curry's wife.
Yeah.
Here it is. She got all the structure she can want. Steph Curry come from a good stock. You know, his dad, his mother. You see them together. You know, they raised their children up. She got this structure. You know, he's well off. You know, he's not no wild nigga. She ain't got to worry about, you know, him getting shot at and no crazy shit. You see? But now you got her trying to be like you said, trying to be a goddamn Cardi B. Here it is. You got she got her own little restaurant. She set up. You know, you got all this, but meanwhile you want to try to imitate, you know, a damn harlot, man.
Yeah, you want that Queen of Heaven glory.
Yeah.
See, a nigga woman in America, she could get glorified as the Queen of Heaven. She could have her own platform. Men glorify you because you're physically attractive. All right? But show me that in the scriptures. And you want to get there building off of his glory. You know? So we get still more of that.
Yeah, finish off. I say to be discreet, chaste.
And then we look up the word discreet, it goes into self-control. You don't hear that word often.
Nah.
You know?
All right, and for that word keepers, it says homemakers.
Yep. It's all because everything starts at the house, man. You know, these great men, you know, that we see in the earth, man. You know, they had a stern father, you know, and then they had a nourishing mother, man. You can't do, you know, you can't remake all right, or replace, you know, a 2-parent household, man. That's that perfect balance for bringing up children, man.
Then, you know, I looked on Google and I looked up the effects of having a fatherless household. Man, it went into mental illness, high skyrocketed suicide rates, of course, teen pregnancy. I mean, it's a negative ripple effect of this single parent household, man.
That proves that our nation's sick.
Yeah.
Like we sick right now.
Yeah.
All right, it says keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands.
Obedient to their own husband, man. You know? And see the obedience as they want. And even now, you have women that are obedient, they in a much more better condition than these women who have that rebellious spirit. You know, they're like they can't be tamed, man. Them the main women you see calling Kevin Samuels bitter, mad, you know, trying to make a point. You see? Because by nature, men not drawn to that, man. Like, that ain't, like, who wants to argue all the goddamn time, man?
And, you know, you had this scene, this YouTube clip on YouTube where I think they were in Kenya.
Yeah.
And some so-called African hunters, they grouped up together and started walking towards actual lions.
Yeah.
So the lions, in their nature, they're not used to somebody dominating them, because they're the apex predators.
Yeah.
So when the lions saw the hunters grouped up walking towards them, the lions got up and hauled ass.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in their nature to be challenged.
Yeah.
So in their instincts, they didn't know how to deal with that. Going back to what you're saying, it's not in a man's nature to be challenged by his subordinate.
Yeah. That's why Jake just leave, man.
Yeah.
Jake just get the hell up out of there. Jake will say, well, you don't want to deal with a strong black woman.
Sure, right.
You're right. Because you saying that basically you're going to challenge us.
Because the Most High deals with energy. He deals with spirits. You got masculine energy and feminine energy. Modern women, they stepped into a masculine frame. So yeah, you might be pretty on the surface, but if you're exuding masculine energy, you're going to repel the average man. Only man that's going to deal with that is a man that's ready to submit.
A simp.
A simp. That's why all those women, and they use they go on Kevin Samuel and they speak on their accolades in the world, but that doesn't have anything to do with you being a woman.
Yep.
You know?
Then they say I can turn my femininity on. No, you can't. You gotta be bred like that.
No.
You know, like what you see brothers is today. That's why the house I say you have to be born again. You gotta be bred a particular way. You know, and the women not bred like that. Like women talking about they want to be housewives, but their mother wasn't a housewife. Her mother wasn't a housewife. So how can you want this housewife? Because you really, when you say housewife, it means you want to sit your ass at the house. You know, you're not talking about nourishing of a family. You know, establishing a diet for the household, establish, herbal, supplements for the household, medical, you don't have no medical training, you don't, what you talking about a household? You talking about sitting your ass down, man.
You can't put a new age woman in a traditional structure.
No.
That's it.
You can't.
That's it.
You got it, bro.
That the word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua be not blasphemed.
Yep, hey, because, especially in the ministry, man, the world is already looking, for anything to nitpick, So you say you're an Israelite woman, there's a certain standard, that you walk in. So the ministry be not blasphemed, man, And we all have that certain standard, and we all have came back into it, man, and see what's happening is the Most High is pulling the veil, off the eyes of the elect, because now we get it. You see, because even with the multiple women, we know it ain't just for random sex. It's for bringing forth a nation. We don't mature, to that level to understand, oh, that's for legacy building, and it's really for sovereignty, man. That was it on there.
Come, bro.
Sirach 36:24.
Yep.
He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession.
Yep.
A help like unto himself.
A help like unto himself. See the way?
And a pillar of rest.
And a pillar of rest, man. Because the reason why, even with these smartphones, the reason why people so addicted to them smartphones is because the smartphones mold to who you are. What you into, the smartphone picks up on that algorithm.
Yeah.
That's how a woman is supposed to be. How much more a woman actually human?
It's an extension of you.
Yeah.
Basically, a smartphone is like a second brain.
Yep.
You know, because you got your own mind, but then you got the smartphone.
Yep.
You know,
It's really your assistant.
It's your assistant.
It's your helpmeet.
Woo!
In women's, that is a woman's spirit. You know, women, they've been tainted by this culture, but a woman is designed to absorb your spirit. And that's why the Most High made them detail oriented. See, that's why they're assistants. You see the bigger picture, but you overlook little things.
Yep.
But a woman, she has antenna for the little things. That's why you got the word petty. The word petty go back to petite, but it basically means small. But a woman is petty. The reason why she's petty, because she has her antennas for the little things. So on the dark side of it, okay, she you know, she nitpicking
flaws.
But the gift side of it is that she's detail oriented. You know.
I got precept. Look up on it, bro.
Yep.
All right, this is Sirach 26 and 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones.
Her discretion, you know, going back to a similar word to discreet. You know, her self-control. You know,
and I want to say in that context, it's talking about her judgment. Going back to being detail oriented.
Hey, because like you say, you know, because you gotta pick up, like you say, like a smartphone, it kind of pick up on your algorithm. You know, that's how a woman is supposed to be observing her man, her husband, picking up on his algorithm, man. You know, you see, you know, he's trying to eat a certain way. You know, so a woman really supposed to research them things and come back with a game plan.
Yeah, give you suggestions like the phone do.
Yeah, you know, like when you Google something, well, you got a whole list of suggestions, man.
Based off your history.
Yeah, based off your history.
It really finish it up for you.
Yeah,
you say something.
Look at the woman, bro.
Hey, but we finna get that back though, man. But just speaking, that's how a woman really supposed to be in sync, you know, what her man is doing, man. Like he work a particular job, like he needs some muscle mass for a job he working well. She's supposed to be researching like, look, we're gonna put you on this diet, put you on this regimen. You know, I'm gonna start cooking. You know, put a little maca in, you know, in the chicken. You see,
and you got something called to make a long story short, a lot of our women are self-absorbed. They're not. They can't get it. They can't get in tune with your spirit because they're too absorbed into what they got going on. You know, their needs and wants.
It's even more. It says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much the worth as a mind well instructed.
A mind well instructed. Like say, a woman that can constantly get better and better at what she do. You know, when it comes to, you know, being, you know, your assistant, man. A mind that's well instructed, man. Like you have a woman that might start off good but then fall off. You know, she get complacent, get content. You know, especially in this society, because you get married according to Esau, you sign them papers. It takes so much shit to get unmarried. You know, you really like you locked in, man, and the woman just fall off. And that's the pretty nature of a lot of marriages in America, man. You have women, you have men and women that be together for 10 years, but then when they get married according to the state, they divorce in a year. You know, because the women, that's why women push that shit so they can really relax. Because once they get the papers and shit, I got this nigga. You know? But no, man, a woman supposed to continue to get better and better and better at being assistant as a man gets better and better at serving your house by shit out of shot, man.
That's it.
You know? That was it on that cut. I think that was it. Yep.
I'll just make a quick point.
Okay.
You know, going back to, you know, men are builders. All right, you build a structure, right? You build a structure, but then you create a manual on how to maintain that structure. So generally speaking, you will build a house, but you have a manual of how you want your system ran. You know, like you go into a bank, there's a system on how to run that bank. There's instructions on how to run a software program. So when you have a lot of women in these banks, it's really like those are corporate wives for Esau, because he has the banks built and he creates a system to run that bank, Then he puts those women in those different positions to play out their system.
Yeah, he trains them up.
In their mind. Yep.
Yeah. When you say minds well instructed.
The minds well instructed.
Yep.
Women go to college to be minds well instructed for Esau's system. Yep. See, when we came to America, we lost the war. We're POWs. In war, you lose your woman. So opposition has our woman. So how they're supposed to get that energy to us, they're giving it to E. All right?
Because a woman is very diligent when it comes to Esau's kingdom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That was it.
Well, hey, with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. I know I was.
Okay.
And once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to our apostles, a great millstone, we well. Peace and blessed house there with the elect. Hey, Abba Baal.
Abba Baal.
Shalom.
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 The water, bro.
God, it's all good.